Welcome to Road to Redemption, a show sharing powerful life testimonies, giving hope to those on their own road to redemption.
Welcome to Road to Redemption. This is a weekly show where we share powerful life testimonies that give hope. You can also find it in our podcast, wherever you find your podcast, wherever you listen to those. Road to Redemption's on there. Just search for it, and you can listen to those at any point. Today, we're recording this a few days out of Christmas and the holiday season here. You may be listening to it at a different time, whenever you're listening to it, but I still think what we want to talk about today and cover is powerful, and people need to hear it. And we want to kind of take on the approach and the topic of really just grief around the holidays and pain, and maybe it's different things that people have experienced, whether it's family loss or hurt or, something from work or whatever it is. We want to talk about just grief around the holidays. And I actually have a very special guest with us today that's going to help us. She's my mom.
Yes, that's good to know.
Yes, Pam. Thank you for being with us today.
You're welcome.
Thanks for being a great mom.
Oh,
yeah.
Good. You're getting a good Christmas present.
Come on, that's good. I have my mom on. I asked her to come on the show today, and I just think that for a few reasons. One, just you've experienced some loss somewhat recently, and then so we have together. And then the second thing is that you also are you're a counselor. You have a master's degree in counseling and psychiatry, and I just think that it was appropriate to bring you in and to talk to the people and to help us out. And so, thanks for being here, Mom.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey.
Well, I was married to your dad for 40 years. And through some events that to this day we still don't really know exactly what happened, he left this earth on July 4th, 2020. And what's kind of neat, being that this is the road to redemption, is where you have an exchange of something. Jesus exchanged his life for our sin. Well, when Jerry left this earth, I got an exchange of grief that was given to me. And now in the process, I have been on that road to redeem that grief and allow Jesus to come in and not totally take it away, because you never really take it away, but allow me to lean into it and to learn how to walk into it. And, my favorite verse is Romans 8:28, and it said, where we're talking about he's going to work all things good, because I said, how in the world could Jerry's death be good? But the key word there really is work. And I see now how God is working in my heart and in my life and in those around me to work through the grief.
And it isn't an overnight thing.
Oh, goodness, no.
Yeah.
No, it's not a destination. It's a journey.
Sure.
And this will be our second set of holidays without him. And of course, there's many holidays through the year,
Christmas holidays. And
we have Valentine's Day, birthdays, all of those. And they're all hard.
Sure.
In their own way.
And I think that, obviously we love Christmas, right? Everybody loves Christmas time. And you just kind of, it's one of those holidays that's just in your face. Every Walmart that you run into, it's like, oh, it's Christmas. And, I want to believe that that's mostly a good thing for most people. They just love it. But I also know, and there's probably even people listening, that Christmas is a hard time for them. And whether they have experienced loss around that time, it could even be, a marriage situation. They've experienced some hurt around that time of year, and it just looks different. And maybe there's that empty seat at the table that wasn't there before, and it's hard, and maybe it's different for every single family, but maybe it's grandfather that used to, cut the turkey and their dad used to put the star on the tree or whatever the situation is, and so that's not happening anymore. Right. And so how do you cope with these things?
Well, the first thing you have to do through your life every day when you're going through grief, and let me back up and say here, one thing that I learned, grief is trauma. And trauma can have a capital T or a little t, but it's still trauma. You know, I would think that losing a spouse and a child would be a bold capital T, you know. But you have to accept that loss demands change. It doesn't recommend it or say, hey, if you want to do this, you can. It demands it.
Wow.
So we have to learn to do things differently.
Sure.
We learn new traditions. This past year on Jerry's birthday, I actually went out to Houston and had celebrated his birthday with his family. And, you know, that was special to me. It was kind of hard not to be with y'all, but it was special for me to go with them because they're grieving too.
Sure.
They lost their brother, and that meant a lot to me. And, you know, Latinos just like to party anyway, so it was just a lot of fun going.
Yes, they do.
And, you know, Valentine's Day is hard because hearts are everywhere, so you can't shop for like a month. You know, and Christmas is the same way. And for us, for our family, we have, well, Ridley, his birthday is coming.
My son, your grandson.
My favorite grandson, joy of my life, you know.
Also your only grandson.
Yes,
I just want to
my
put that
only
out there. She's not playing favorites.
And then we have Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. What is that going to look like? And then Kelsey, your beautiful wife, her birthday comes. And then we have my youngest granddaughter, her birthday on New Year's Eve. So we've got, with less a week, we've got all these things happening.
Right.
So we have to be intentional about what are we going to do about it. And I think we all need to do that when we're going through grief and through loss, is we need to be intentional about how we're going to handle things. Don't just let them sneak up on us. And you know what? It's okay if you don't want to do things.
Sure.
It's okay if you don't want to decorate. If you don't want to buy presents. If you don't want to do these things, it's fine.
Sure.
Because you know what? Christmas is coming next year.
Yep.
It comes every
That's
year.
so good. And it's almost like take the pressure off of yourself that it has to look the same, because you're right. It's just not going to. And I actually talked to somebody recently. They lost their daughter, and she had cancer. So it was somewhat expected, you know, as far as her life expectancy, but it's never easy. It doesn't make it easier just because it's, you know, the doctors told you that it could be expectant. But at the same time, she died on December 24th. And so like, that's such a hard thing to, you know, to cope with. And so rather than, this was just their approach, because you're right, you have to be intentional about it.
Right.
Their approach, rather than just saying, oh, we're going to keep it the same, or we're going to do all these things, they were like, let's go on a cruise. And the whole family went on a cruise, and because she used to love to do that, you know, and so they took a Christmas cruise. And I was like, how smart was that? You know, it's just great. And not that they're going to do that every year, but they just knew it would be very hard. And so that's what they decided to do. And it was great for their family.
Well, you know, last year, if you remember, last Thanksgiving, we went to Universal as a family, because I felt like the first one, I need to get away and not be here. And for me, actually, when I got home, that was a mistake, because Jerry and I went to Universal all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, walking around, I could say, oh, we like that ride.
Sure,
oh, he would sleep over there on that bench. Oh, it was just this food we ate. So it really brought up too much in me. But still, I have to lean into it and you know, accept that this
Things
is
are going to be different.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it is.
Well, hey, listen, if you're just now joining us, stay with us. We're talking about really grief around the holidays here with Pam. We were just talking about, you know, being intentional about the way that we continue some of these holiday traditions, but in the midst of loss, and how that has to look different. So what would you say to someone that maybe hasn't personally experienced the loss? Maybe they didn't have the loss in their family, but they're close to someone that has. How can they help? How can they be a support? How can they love them? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I can say this, that so many people say, you know, what can I do for you? How can I help you? But a lot of times we're just not going to say anything. And I would say, don't wait for them to ask. You know, if you see that their house doesn't have Christmas lights on, go over there and put Christmas lights up for them. I'm not good on ladders. You know, call check on them. I have what I consider an adopted daughter who basically will send me a text at night, almost every single night, and all it will say is, hey. Mm-hmm. That's our code word for, are you okay?
Yep.
Do you need to talk? What's going on? You know, little things like that, because as time gets further away from that day, we tend to forget that, you know, they're still hurting. They're still going through life. They're still trying to learn how to navigate being alone. And, you know, I kid with you that, you know, I went from one daddy to another. I never lived alone in my life. Mm-hmm. And it's been, you know, quite a journey, quite an experience.
Well, you were married when you were 18.
Yep.
And 40 years later, I mean, you don't just like snap out of it and think, you know, expect to change overnight. And so for people that obviously did not live with him for 40 years and they've seen that loss, to just be able to be there. You know, I love that scripture that says to rejoice with those who rejoice and to weep with those who weep. And it just shows me that God knows the importance that we have of each other, you know, and leaning on each other and being there for each other and being support and weeping with those who weep. And sometimes just honestly, and I could definitely learn more of this in my life, but being slow to speak and quick to listen, just being there.
And just to hug and just to sometimes just sit with people. They really don't want a lot, but just to have a presence with them.
Right.
You know, I know for me, for 4 months after Jerry died, I couldn't listen to music. I couldn't, you know, I even had a hard time praying. Mm-hmm. Not because I didn't believe in God. Faith was not wavering whatsoever, but it was tender that when I would pray, in my mind, I would imagine Jerry there and sitting in the lap of God, finally getting loves from a father and hugs that and finally no more pain or anything. And it was just really tough for me to do that. But I know through the holidays, last year and this year, one thing that I did that's different is I did put up decorations. Not a whole lot, not as many, because I want the children to still enjoy it. My grandchildren are very important to me, as you know, and they bring me joy. And so I want them to remember, because they will remember what happened during the holidays. You know, I will get better through the years, but they will remember that I let them the last 2 years decorate my tree. It is not Southern Living tree. Mm-hmm. It is decorated by a 3-year-old or 4-year-old and a 6-year-old.
And you can tell.
And I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I absolutely love it.
It is. It's special. And every time I walk in and I see there's only decorations on the first 3 feet, the bottom 3 feet of the tree, I was like, you know, it brings a tear to the eye, honestly, because it's really sweet that they did that and they're proud of it. And normally Papa would be doing it, but he's not with us. And so, you know, to be absent with the body is to be present with the Father. And so, man, thank God that we know where he is, and it brings a lot of peace of mind. But it's still tough, you know, and I love that. And I think it's great to lean on people. And if you're somebody that knows somebody, just reach out to him, you know, and to be the hands and feet of Jesus and love on him. And I heard this quote and I love this, but it says that, you know, before Jesus came to fix it, he felt it. Mm-hmm. I mean, he walked this earth for a long time, really, before he did any miracle. And even, you know, an incredible miracle that he did with Lazarus, you know, brought him from the dead.
Right.
But before he did that, it says Jesus wept. Mm-hmm. And it just tells me before he fixed it, he felt it. He knew, he walked this earth knowing what we face and what we go through. Mm-hmm. And it was a big deal to him.
Well, I've told you, you know, grief is the price we pay for love.
That's powerful.
And
grief, say it again?
Grief is the price we pay for love.
Wow. Sure. Yeah, I love that, Mom. That's awesome. I just, I think it's okay that we have grief. And I think it's okay that we, for a time, experience this sadness, you know, and it lasts for the night, but joy comes in the morning. But that night is, you know, it's still real. And I think that sometimes I'm a fixer. I don't know if it's a guy thing or if it's a Kelly thing or what, but I want to fix the problem. Like, okay, what's the issue here? Let's tackle it and fix it. And it's not always like that. And so,
well, with grief, it's not.
It's definitely not.
You're not bringing your daddy back. You know?
Yep, can't do that.
As much as we would like that, you can't. but we accept it and we say, okay, God, what is the purpose you want in this? And we know, for one thing, it's to bring others to heaven with us, because, you know, that baby came from heaven,
Right.
came down. Jerry went to that heaven, went to that home, and now it's our job to let others know about it.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I think that we need to not be ashamed of feeling that way. And I think so many are. So, and not to knock Christians, but I think sometimes it can be bad in the Christian faith, because people are like, oh, I got the joy of the Lord. And you know, hey man, it's okay. It's okay to feel this way. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to carry this for a time.
Yeah.
Well,
I will say, you know, one thing that helped me is that I did the grief share group. That was amazing.
Wow.
And 8 months of counseling.
It's like what is it, a small group? Or?
Yes, it's a small group, 12 weeks. Churches have it all over, and it's phenomenal. And then I would receive daily emails from them with just little short devotions that just really got me through that first year.
Shout out to small groups.
Oh yeah, it was amazing, because we're like-minded.
Yeah.
You know, right now I'm in a phase where it's kind of hard to find a like-minded group, even though your mother-in-law, Lynn, and I have started a widows group in Freeport, and, you know, we're praying to reach out to people, you know, that are...
Well, it's funny because I remember you were praying for God to give you opportunities just with what you've walked through, to be able to be a blessing to someone else that's experiencing that. And then your neighbor who moves in, like the week that you're praying that, is a widow, is a recent widow.
Well, not only that was one of Jerry's houses.
And he built that house.
Well, he didn't build it. He designed. He was in the hospital when it was being permitted, but he designed it, and she moved in from Houston, and she loves it. And that was a wink from God saying, hey, I'm still here. I know what you're going through.
Absolutely.
And this is how I'm going to use it.
Just being there for each other, you know. I typical Nate to bring up a Disney movie in a time like this, but Inside Out, right? It's such a good movie.
My favorite.
And there's so many powerful truths in that movie. And there's this character, Joy, right? And they're trying to make this little girl feel better. And then she's having some different depression things, and she's sad. And Joy, the character, is like, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. I can't make her feel better. I'm trying everything in my power to make her feel better. And then the other character, Sadness, at the end of the movie, is the one who makes the girl feel better. And Joy was like, how did you do that, Sadness?
Right.
How did you make her feel? And she said this quote, and I was like, whoa. And I was like, rewind, you know. Sadness said, sometimes being sad with someone is what brings them to healing. And
Absolutely.
I was like, whoa.
Absolutely. Weep those that weep.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
that's been huge for me.
So, you know, whether it's a holiday or whether it's a birthday, or maybe it's, you know, Valentine's, like you said, or even a death anniversary, what do you think are some things that a person should be focusing on at that day?
Again, being intentional, like for our anniversary. Oh, I forgot our anniversary's coming up. December 29th would have been our 42nd. We love to do the lanterns. You know, we've done that several times because it's biodegradable, and you can write on there. The little ones love to draw pictures to Papa on it and send it to him.
Wow.
Also, at Christmas time, we can put a present under the tree to your loved one. But give it to something they can use, and then next year they choose someone. You can hang a stocking, put letters in the stocking for the loved one.
Yeah.
You know, just do things, maybe new traditions. Sure. Like, you know, we always watch Jingle All the Way, remember? Always.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry had to watch it every year. Well, this year I watched Jingle All the Way 2. Wasn't quite the same.
Not the same
feeling I was hoping for,
right?
But it's okay.
It's all right.
It still brought me close to something he loved.
Sure, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And if they loved bacon, just make a plate of bacon on Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if they like that song, play that song. And I know you can't do all that all at once. It's hard.
Yeah.
And so give yourself grace and give yourself a break. So, any other last thoughts, Mom?
Well, I would just say find moments of joy. You know, you can remember the good with the bad. The bad is that they're no longer with us, but he's in a good place. Our loved ones are in a good place.
Sure.
and just to find moments of joy and share it with others. There's so many people that are hurting.
Yeah.
So many. And we can, even though we're hurting, we can go and give to others.
Exactly. And we don't know. I mean, I remember when Dad died, the next time I led worship, it was a little bit of time, but the next time that I led worship, the first song I sang was "It Is Well," and that's tough, and
Right.
the worship team has no clue. Like nobody in the audience knows,
Right.
but like you don't know what people are currently going through. And I have that same thought when I'm up there on that platform and I see people filing in, like even Christmas Eve service that we're about to do. I have to just think in my mind, I don't know what they're going through.
Exactly.
And thank you, Lord, that we get to be an opportunity to just show the love of Jesus and to them. And so you may not be able to do that on a platform, but you can do it at the store. You could do that at the gas station.
Right.
You can do that with your coworker and just lean over there and say, hey, I know this is a hard time of the year for you. I'm here for you if you need it.
Right. Have grace.
Absolutely. So I don't know, if there's anyone listening now that's going through a similar journey, we'd love for you to reach out to us, whether it's Destiny, come to a service, or you can email us at destinyradio.live. And we'd love to hear from you and just be there for you and maybe even be a resource for you and reach out. But if not, like the main things that you have to do right now, and we say this every week, is 3 things. 1, pick up the Bible. That's going to be your ultimate resource. We can say great things and give you great tools and all that, but there's no greatest tool than the Word of God, because it's alive and breathing, and it'll help you when you need it the most. And the second thing is find a local church, whether it's here in Destiny or another amazing local church that's life-giving and has small groups. And the third one is join a small group. I just said
Absolutely.
it. Join a small group, get plugged in. Mom was in a grief group, and I really believe it was a part of your healing.
Absolutely.
And so, Any last things, Mom?
Well, I will say this. Probably one of the biggest things for me now in my life is that, loss makes you look at things different. Death makes you look at life different. That's what I say. And to appreciate people more and times that you're with them, because you may not have tomorrow. Jerry's favorite group, Casting Crowns, and the song that they wrote, Scars in Heaven. First line, if I had only known the last time would be the last time. And if we could look at each other and kind of think that, I believe that we would show love more.
Sure.
We would hug a lot more. And remember, you're not promised tomorrow.
That's powerful.
Not promised tomorrow at all.
Yeah. So this Christmas, guys, whether you're listening to this before or any holiday coming up, anytime you're with your family, enjoy that moment. It's crucial that we do that we enjoy our time with each other, because we're not promised tomorrow. And I don't want to cast this cloud or anything over you or make you scared or to live that kind of life in fear. But at the same time, we need to really take captive every moment with each other and enjoy it as much as we can.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, love you.
Love you too.
I'm thankful that you were here with us. And again, if you guys need to talk to anybody, please reach out to us. And we're here for you as a church and as a radio station. Love you guys.
You've been listening to Road to Redemption, sharing powerful life testimonies, giving hope to those on their own road to redemption. If you have questions or comments, we would love to connect with you. You can reach out to us at destinyradio.live. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week on Road to Redemption.